I think we made it.
Okay, I think I'm online.
Excellent. You seem
Should
to
we
be in a
check?
different location. Yeah.
I am. Hold on. Let's see if it's live. How do we do this? How do I use YouTube?
What's his name? Technoevangelist.
Evangelist.
I don't see it live just yet. Oh, it's live.
August
Promise I have an
18th.
ad. Yes. You're live, my friend.
Okay, that's it.
You're live.
Okay, so yeah, I'm in a new location. This is
in, witness protection, or what's going on here? It looks a little bit dim. Yeah.
I'm calling from a phone booth, or like a booth at a. I thought I'd try working from a shared office space. What are they called?
Wow.
Co-working space.
Not a WeWork branded, but a co-working space.
Not WeWork. This is Office Expats here on Bainbridge Island.
Wow. Hence, this
they
is
provide coffee.
This is on
that
the
is
island.
pretty bad.
Coffee. Okay.
Yeah, that is not the reason to come here. But and they provide M&Ms, which is probably not a reason to come here. But it's desks and yeah, it's kind of comfortable. And I think I actually got something done today, which is good.
Is that like first time in a month, in a week?
Yeah,
it's you've been productive.
My last video I posted July 23rd.
Oh shoot! So it has been almost a month. Okay.
Yeah, but that means I'm actually, I think, on a little better cadence than I've been. That's one a month, and I think I've been worse than that.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, it's
we can help get you out of your slump. I think. Listen, the summer is a good time to hang around with your family, for example. Go on trips.
That is what we've been doing. This past weekend we went to a place called Manhattan Beach. Not Manhattan Beach, California. And not many other Manhattan beaches. This is Manhattan Beach, Oregon, which is at Rockaway, or right next to Rockaway Beach and Cannon Beach, in Oregon, and it's beautiful. Cannon Beach is where there's a large mound just on the beach called Haystack Rock. I mean, there's many Haystack Rocks, but this is the one that shows up in the background in the Goonies.
Right. Now, having just gone to Portland, actually, and Oregon, the weekend prior to this, and broken my tooth, et cetera, which is why I didn't stream last week. But there was a lot of talk of Goonies being filmed there. I think it's like a point of pride of many of the Oregonians, Oregonites.
Yeah.
Whichever it is. Yeah.
You didn't go out towards there, did you?
I did not. I was mostly... I was at like this Polaroid conference, so I was mostly
that's right, yeah.
PolaCon. Other than that, I was looking at their many bridges. The hotel we stayed in was under it felt like a jumble of bridges on many different heights and things like that. Anyway, I literally took photos of bridges. It felt like for 5 days. I'm so sorry that I won't bore you with the black and white photos of bridges. I'll send you more tooth photos instead.
We drove through Portland on the way back, and I pointed out the bridges from I-5. You cross over. Is it the Willamette River that you pass over?
I should know. I'm sorry. I really
don't. But
I'm not sure.
So we passed over it, and I'm like looking at. It's really cool. And Stella was in the back. She was watching. She's really into watching All Creatures Great and Small. So she was watching that on the iPad. I said, "Oh, look, Stella! Look out the window. It's really cool. We're going through Portland, and here's all these bridges." And I could tell that she was just looking at the iPad, saying, "Yeah, Dad, that's great. Thanks. Oh, it's really amazing." Not taking our eyes off the iPad.
Do you feel like you're raising a mini-me sometimes? Because this seems like something Matt would do to me.
I think I would have done that, yes.
Or-
Given the option. I definitely didn't have
Right.
a TV watching device in the car growing up. In fact,
Did
I
you go
was
to
just
Voodoo Donuts while you were there? Did you get
no.
cool donuts or anything like that? Okay.
They didn't
Sorry.
have any
Tell me more
donut
about your
places. I mean,
childhood.
we just drove through Portland on the way
Gotcha.
back. We didn't stop off.
Gotcha.
We did stop off just before we left the West Coast, right on the beach. We left. Uh, we stopped off at Tillamook Creamery,
Hmm. Hmm.
which they make cheese and ice cream, and
Yeah.
so that was lovely. But we did not
Fantastic.
go to any donut places in Portland. You know, I
I
I,
think you
I
can get
was
Tillamook here. It's expensive.
I was every now and then Stella will say, "Tell me a story from when you were a kid, when you were my age." And one of the stories that came up was not quite a road trip, but uh, going to see a movie for my birthday, and
Hmm.
having to, because I grew up on this island off the coast of Miami called Key Biscayne, and driving, there was no theater on the island, so you had to drive into Miami, and I had to look it up to make sure, it was a movie I saw when I was 8 years old. It was called The Swarm.
Okay.
A terrible movie, but I mean, I remember it being amazing at the time. But I think it was probably a terrible movie. Um,
It got
and
re-released in 2021, and
did it
it
really?
also looks bad. Yeah, it also looks bad.
Okay. Um, but what was special about that was that we had a Chevy Impala station wagon, so three
Mm.
rows. Not, I guess, not unlike the capacity of our current Rivian,
Mhm.
but rather than being a seven-person vehicle, I think we probably had, my parents plus 10 kids,
Whoa.
because there were no car seats. That was not a
Oh, and there's
thing at the
seatbelts.
time.
Yeah,
There were
and they're all
seatbelts.
bench seats,
Um,
right?
it was all bench seats, and with the back seat looking backwards, and so
Right,
that
right.
seat had at least five kids sitting back there looking at
The rumble
cars.
seat. Yeah.
And yeah, and somehow that was just normal. There was nothing weird about throwing, way too many kids into a car.
Right. I grew up similarly, maybe not 10. There were eight of us at the end, but I think we at least did some trips. Whole family,
Yeah,
like six, seven people in the
yeah,
same thing. A station wagon with a rumble seat in the back.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a lot. Eh,
yeah.
we'll be playing all types of games. So
You
does it
and been
really?
anywhere?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
you
ahead.
went to Portland for that. Anything else?
That is it. So I
Okay.
hurt my tooth in Portland, and I've been pretty much not doing anything since then.
Yeah,
I've been working, obviously, but
yeah.
trying to keep things low profile,
Right.
not doing anything stressful. That's been it. I jogged this morning, but
Oh,
that's about it.
very
The whole
impressive.
excitement of my life. Back to jogging. I'm still doing the couch to 5K thing. I think
Right.
I'm about 66% there, two-thirds of the way
Okay.
to 5K. So I'm doing 5-minute intervals right now, which isn't too bad. It
Okay.
feels good. But I took a photo this morning of myself post run, which I was told looked quote unquote like Red Lobster. Now I can send this to you instead of my photos of my teeth. It might be more interesting. But I was very red.
Yeah.
It's really warm out. It's muggy out, and the
Mm,
air quality is terrible. I wouldn't necessarily
oh,
suggest running right now. But yeah, that
right.
is what I did this morning.
You were getting a lot of smoke from the fires.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty
Yeah.
bad here. It's quite hazy. I'm not sure about your
Well,
area, but yeah.
no, not much. I mean, and we definitely didn't see anything in Oregon.
Oh wow, good.
Um, but we had some smoke, I think last week, for a day or two, and that's it. That's been about it.
Gotcha. That sounds bad.
But so, what's anything that you've seen new in the world of AI, DevOps, any of those things?
Yeah, yeah. You asking because you haven't been doing much? So
No,
listen,
I have.
Ollama's got Ollama's got cloud models, and it's got a bunch of them, right? And there's new ones that come out and all that. And I'd love to tell you that I've tried like the Kimi K3 and the DeepSeek
Mm,
V4 Flash. I'm looking through them here. There's an update to Gemma 4, I guess.
yeah.
Unimax has is it M3 in here? When it comes to like I was using 5.1 before, but I'm just using GLM 5.2 from Claude.
Hmm.
Sorry, from Ollama, just because it's fast. I still cannot use Fable from Anthropic because
Hmm.
I guess I'm doing something against the TOS.
Right.
It continuously dumps me down to Opus, and I feel like Opus is actually perfectly fine. And a lot of what I'm doing is what's called like a dynamic workflow. It's like their we'll say scalable subagents. So you're not
Right.
defining, hey, I want 10 agents or 2 agents, I want a few. And I find the way it piecemeal sends context to them is pretty handy. So
Right.
that's kind of what I've been doing is like subagent slash goal work or sequential
Hmm.
thinking, but mostly that. But I really do feel like for me, my happy place seems to be GLM 5.2. It doesn't have any language
Right.
issues, as in like it doesn't give me non-English answers or anything like that, which is a problem I
Right.
used to have with 5.1 once in a while. But it's hard to say, but it feels boring. Is that good? And I've played a little
Hmm.
bit with like Luna and Soul, but again, it's sort of samey. But they don't have dynamic agents; it's sub agents, so it feels like I might as well
Right.
just use Ollama instead of Codex.
Right.
Which is sad to say. Sorry, OpenAI folks. I'm sure the model's fantastic, but for like my usage or just playing around, it's perfectly fine. Especially like a lot of what I'm doing I guess I look a lot at Terminal Bench, and I understand that some of those scores are like one shot it, but the ones that do well on Terminal Bench tend to do well for the flow that I've got, which is kind of like Homelab operations, if that makes sense. Like a lot of what I'm doing is, hey, read this log, figure out what I need to do. There's something else wrong. I'm trying to fix my Wi-Fi. It's not hitting this area, that kind of stuff, or like do my updates for me. Very
Hmm.
easy things, but also like cordoned off into like a home lab instead of being,
Right.
my land. But that's kind of what I've been working on. And I guess, yeah, it feels like this workflow, like you could wrap a harness around it so you're not using so many tokens, but the operations flow seems to be, how do I say this? Like commoditized? Does that make sense across models?
Hmm.
Like it feels like something that most models have in the corpus is fixing generic issues across Windows, Mac, and Linux. It seems to be well within the scope. So I guess in terms of like new stuff, I understand there are new things. It's just
Yeah.
difficult for me to use them because I'm so well served, I guess,
Right.
now. And I am paying for still the top of the line like Anthropic. Same
Right.
thing for OpenAI, but I feel like I'm probably going to cancel OpenAI again. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but like it just doesn't. There's no reason to have both right now. There's
Yeah.
no differentiation. The workflow that I like, I could probably create a skill to do elsewhere, but it feels
Hmm.
like Anthropic just sort of gets it first try, and with OpenAI, I'm going to take a couple. And
Right.
again, it depends on the workflow. That's like one shot comparisons. It's not really fair. But that's kind of where I've been. I haven't been doing too much in terms of like music or video, though I understand both of those have some more or even uh, even 2D kind of stuff. Like I haven't used Midjourney in
Hmm. No.
years. I don't know about yourself.
I canceled my
Maybe not
Midjourney
that long. A
subscription
year?
maybe 6 months
Okay.
ago.
Yeah. Not that I
Just
don't like
no.
it. It's just like I don't have a need. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need enough that is different from the basics. The basics have become so good, has gotten so
Right.
good that I just don't need other things.
Yeah, and I guess that's
Um,
what I think about in terms of subscription. So the only subscription I have left outside of all that is Lovable, and
mhm.
maybe I'm just paying them $20 because I feel like it's a cool platform. But I have used it recently, and it's extremely powerful now that it has access to newer models. I'm not sure how it's routing those requests and what those look like, but it does feel like the capabilities are one faster and better, but they use a lot more tokens, and you run out
Mhm.
more quickly. And $20 really doesn't like you can do 5 kind of turns. It feels like rolls
Right.
or maybe the infinite slot machine. You can get 5 turns at the slot machine. You may get a good website. It does eventually
Yeah.
get there, but it feels like it kind of gets in the way. And then I can
Mhm.
take what I started in Lovable and finish it elsewhere, which is often what
Right.
I do anyway, because you can just sync it to GitHub and go from there. But yeah, that's kind of where I am in terms of subscriptions. I mean, yeah, it
Yeah.
feels like it like
It- w-
I don't know. Is it commodity? Like honestly, I could
yeah.
probably get by with GLM 5.2. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I was building something. Oh, I wanted to build like a simple dashboard for tracking. So coming to this workspace, it costs a bit of money. I don't know, like 300
Mhm.
bucks a month to use it. And can I justify 300 bucks? And
Right.
so how can I track videos that I create and all the other
Mhm.
the work that I do that generates income? Am I bringing in more than the cost of something like this? And so I just wanted to come up with a simple dashboard to show me that something I can look at really quickly to
Mhm.
show me all the things that I care about with regards to income and income, but also the other things about YouTube like comments and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so I started building something simple but nice looking. And I think I was using GLM 5.2 is still great, and
Mhm.
you can do so much with. I mean, I didn't even come close to any limits on
Right.
Ollama, $20 plan, and it's just So I was doing that. Now, one thing one of the tools I really like using on my Mac is called Code Typist, and I've mentioned that
Mhm.
before.
Mhm.
Kind of a type ahead using different models, but it doesn't work with Ghosty.
Oh, interesting.
It's one of those things, and apparently there's been this PR to Ghosty for a year, and nothing's been done about it. That would solve the
Maybe
problem.
it had an AI smell or something on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and and so, but the tool that I use as my kind of harness or meta harness, I don't know, whatever they're called, is called Solo, Solo
Okay.
term, written by Aaron something, who's now marketing person at
Aaron
Laravel,
Francis.
Aaron
Hmm.
Francis.
Very cool.
Which he posted, this new update that he's now working for Laravel. First, Laravel still exists, and second,
Yes, Laravel
PHP is
still
still a thing.
exists. PHP is absolutely still a thing. WordPress just released an update, I think, a month ago that got like a pretty bad hack in it. So yeah, PHP is definitely still around. And, like, listen, that sounds like fun, but it absolutely happened. Like we're into the era of don't update because the update could be sus. Like, wait, like, oh no, this is where we are right now. But Laravel is
But
definitely still around, and I think I'm so sorry, but you might be surprised. I'm not a fan of PHP, but I definitely did a lot of PHP work. I think you might be surprised at like how nice Laravel is, even if you don't
yeah,
want to code in it. It's like it's
right.
surprisingly ergonomic, but
PHP
also I
is
don't use it either.
PHP is definitely not the PHP that I used when I was using
Right.
a lot of PHP.
Like I would write nested HTML with JavaScript inside of PHP and like run shell scripts from websites. It was terrible.
I mean, the PHP, last time I was really doing a lot with PHP, it wasn't called PHP, it was PHPFI.
Fair enough.
And so that's 12, 15 years
Long
ago,
time
maybe
ago.
longer.
Yes. Longer.
But anyway, the reason I bring this up is that
Yeah.
because Ghosty has a problem, and Solo
Mhm.
Term is what I uses not Ghosty, but the Ghosty kind of
Right.
framework or whatever.
Mhm.
And so therefore you can't use Code Typist in Solo, which is sometimes it's it's a nice tool to use.
Mhm.
So I just started going back to iTerm,
Mhm.
iTerm 2 version 3, whatever, that whole
Yup, which makes
and
sense.
and using Herder. Have you
Herder.
heard of Herder?
Herder.
HERDR.
DER. Oh, oh.
DR.
Right.
HERDR.
The runtime coding agent. I don't know.
It's
Okay, so
basically Solo,
for the
but
audio listener, their
CLI.
tagline is the runtime your coding agents live on. It's like, is
Yeah,
that actually
the
accurate?
description, the description and the website are
Oh, it's AI
very
generated. Yeah. Okay.
uh, they make it sound like it's something completely different.
What does it actually do? I'm trying to figure.
It
Split me wrong.
is a meta harness. I mean, it's being able to see multiple projects and have the settings for each of those projects saved, and being able to very quickly look at your agents for each of those projects, jumping back and forth, much like Solo. It's pretty much the same thing as Solo, just CLI based. And that website, it doesn't say anything about that.
It does not. It feels like to me this is Zellage. Is it not? Is this not Zellage?
It I could see you thinking that.
Or team ups. I guess other people are saying it's similar
Yeah.
to team up because it's got resumable sessions. I think is the main thing.
Yes.
Like it's one that's its main thing that you can have session
Right.
persistence,
I
which is
could
a pretty
see that being your assumption.
yes. I was reading this comment as well. I think they may have the wrong versions. Gabriel, I think. Do you mean GLM 5.2 as opposed to 4.2?
4.2, 5.2, yeah.
I think perhaps.
4.7 Flash. I don't know.
Yeah, and on GLM, I don't know if the older version is on Ollama. No, like 4.2 is not on Ollama. Is what I was looking for. Not
Yeah.
only Cloud did not. I believe you're talking
Yeah.
about 5.2. How many billions of parameters? So in
I
this
have no
one,
idea.
yeah, 756. It's massive, and it's
Yeah.
I will say, but it's not. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think we say it's trained on billions of parameters. I think we say it contains billions of parameters. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it might be like a disconnect here as well. So versions, I think you're talking about 5.2. It does contain 756 billion parameters. How it was trained, there's a model card for it that's very long that I think I read 2 paragraphs on it. I did not,
Yeah.
but it might be like 97 pages.
And
I'll
parameters
pull that up.
being weights and biases that define how the model performs, and has the input token that results in an output token. Yeah.
And I would say, in terms of info about GLM, their blog post is probably the right synopsis because it's like
Yeah.
shorter. But yes, they do have like a model card for each of them. Yeah, 5.2
Yeah.
is what I was talking about for sure. So the model cards there, I think if you read through their announcement, it kind of tells you how they trained, especially if you want to like take it and make your own, which is what I think a few people are looking at doing, just because it's very it does something with caching, as far as I can tell. I should know, sorry. The way it does caching means that its output is very fast, which is really nice.
Mm.
Here we go. It's MTP with index share and KV share is my understanding of their fast performance league. But anyway, it's amazingly fast, regardless of
Right.
being accurate and having an okay cutoff date. Yeah, no need to be sorry. I think that's totally fine. But I think when you're reading through those details, it can kind of give you like there's a lot basically. So the model
Yeah.
card is big. Sometimes they're up to 100 pages, but I feel like the blog post is a good overview to sort of get you started. Yeah, GLM has been kind of my mainstay. It is when it comes to Ollama Cloud. Yeah, and then I'm dealing with Sonnet 5 or Opus, whatever the most recent. I think it's Sonnet 5 that I'm using. I'm pretty sure it is. Sonnet 5
So
Medium.
earlier we were talking a little bit about Midjourney versus using it versus not using it. One of the things that came up that is kind of image related, that it was like a use case that I hadn't really thought of, and this is I don't know if it uses I don't know how this stuff works, but in Photoshop there's the content fill, and
Oh,
in that the in
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, and then a lot of other tools, what's it called? Pixelmator has its own version of it, and a bunch of other tools have it. I saw a video pretty recently about how somebody was using it to basically recover blown, overexposed highlights in a photo. As like,
Interesting.
oh yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. So if you've got this overblown sky, or maybe this,
Right.
something that's way too bright and it doesn't have any detail,
Right.
selecting that, basically removing it, and then using the content fill, or whatever the feature is in different products,
Hmm.
as a way of regenerating something that makes sense for that space. And I thought, that's a really cool idea.
I thought you were going to talk about the Photoshop beta. So yeah, I think they call it generative assisted fill or generative fill. But the
Hmm.
new beta, which I just got,
Oh, okay.
uh, my apologies. They don't even tell you what it's just happening, but I believe there actually is a change to the generative fill. So the last one, the big news, what they moved away from Adobe Firefly. Again, like
Hmm.
bless their souls, they tried to make their own thing.
Hmm.
It was really not good. Also, it had really bad content moderation, which I'm sure I've mentioned before. And I realize I'm always the problem, but like it definitely doesn't like just like photos of my dogs. It's like terrible.
Hmm.
But you can have it use Nano Banana now,
Hmm.
and which is awesome. It's quite a bit better, or Nano Banana Lite. But it's also got a credit system that came at the same time. So when you're using Nano Banana, you're using more credits, and it's kind of like I get that it's cloud based, but I preferred it maybe before when you could do generative fill with like Ollama locally, or like
Hmm.
not using cloud at all. Because I don't want to be like once it's kind of like range anxiety, I guess, in your EV. Like I
Right.
don't want to worry about, can I finish this project with enough credits, or do I have to top up? Or
Right.
I just want to use Photoshop. Honestly, I'd
Yeah.
rather actually be in a cabin of woods completely offline. Like maybe not
Yeah.
that scary, but like isolated, working on like I don't need the internet to work on
Yeah.
photos. And I feel like this is, I don't want to be all doom and gloom, like slippery slope kind of stuff, but I feel like this is distancing more Photoshop from like what I want of the app to like
Hmm.
where they want, which is like the subscription model and stuff like that.
Right.
To to the point of like, yeah, I'd much rather use Pixelmator at this point in time
Hmm.
from Apple than anything else. And when I'm going and cropping and things like that, that's what I'm trying to do these days. Like
Yeah.
just use different tools. I will admit, I had to for work. I work at a company who are generous with me and give me tools that are phenomenal. However, one of these tools was Premiere, and I had to edit a video this morning, and I
Hmm.
couldn't figure out how to just do an easy fade. And it's
Hmm.
like, because it's so easy in every app.
Yeah.
Like you just click it. There's like F for like,
Yeah.
there's not like a F for effects or F for fade. It'll ramp. None of that. And I went through all the filters, and they were empty. Like none of the filters had been
Hmm.
installed. And I kept searching like, I was trying to find the keyboard shortcut. I think was just the
Right.
actual problem here. It's me. It's user error for sure.
Sure.
But when I was looking at the timeline, there were these two gray boxes, and I was like, I wonder what these do. And I clicked one and dragged it, and I was like, oh, it's Dissolve is right there. It's like it's built in,
Right.
but you have to. It's in the GUI. You have to click it.
Yeah.
So unless you're looking at the screen and clicking around, it's awful.
Mm.
And I will say, I may have used the Google AI kind of, the search, and it sort of told me, because I set it up, I didn't know how to reverse it. So I
Mm.
essentially Googled it, quote unquote, and then used Gemini's answer to figure out how to
Right.
reverse the things. But all this to say is that, like, for me, I could have done that in Capwing, or maybe like an online, it's a P video. Like there's a bunch of
Hmm.
tools that you can just use. Capwing, I think, actually has like an online app, and it feels like a lot of these newer apps that are coming out are doing just that little bit, or like just enough. And that's
Hmm.
kind of what I wanted here, but also I don't know, like, is this gonna, I guess where I'm getting at is the enterprise gonna adopt this,
Right.
or like is shadow IT just going to become the norm? Like it's like, could have vibe coded something that like truncates just the beginning and end, and like adds a fader on it pretty easily.
Right.
And I would assume FFmpeg can do something very
Yeah.
similar to this.
It's
And
interesting that you bring up,
that's all I need to do.
yeah, Capwing and other tools. And one thing that's interesting about
Just those small apps, I guess.
a lot of those tools is, if
Mhm.
you use them, um, there's stuff in the license that says they own your content.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So if you do anything with, I think it's Capwing, is it?
Amazing.
And like another one that came up with was Higgsfield.
Oh,
The content generator, video generator. Basically, I think I saw that their new license says that they own everything that you make. which is
Gotcha.
weird.
I think what they have is a non-exclusive license. Having just Googled the Kaplan thing, but it seems like there might have been a brouhaha about it. So it's just because it has to go to their cloud and come back to you. But it says they don't, at least the current license
Oh,
doesn't
I just got a
require.
text message saying that I was not required to attend, or I was not, I didn't have to show up
Selected?
to court today or yesterday for jury duty, but I just got the text saying, okay, your group 39 through 59 has been called to, I have to report for jury duty at Superior Court in tomorrow. So anyway,
Oh no,
that's
you poor thing. So what I've been doing lately, I think I told you a little bit the light and scooter and trying to do multiple modes of transport. Once I was on vacation, a staycation at
mhm.
home, et cetera, et cetera. We've been going to this combo noodle slash green tea place that just happens to be across from the Supreme Court of British Columbia. So
Oh,
what
okay.
we've been doing, actually, funnily enough, has been going to the jury duty selection area because there's like a little bridge and eating matcha ice cream and watching. Like maybe I guess maybe in my mind for a different universe, you could be there in jury selection while I'm
Mhm.
eating matcha ice cream, but I would much rather not go to jury duty and have like ramen and ice cream. You couldn't get
I,
out of this? There's no way?
I will. There is a way to get out of it. Do you say that your childcare or other things have come up,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so there's totally a way. But
I mean, maybe you want to go. Sorry, don't let
I do.
me
I
poo-poo
wouldn't
your.
mind doing. I mean, the
Yeah.
last few times I have been called, I didn't qualify, and so I just go, and then they say, "Okay, go home. We don't want
Have you
people
committed
like
crimes
you."
before? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that, I think. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Has there ever been a warrant out for your arrest? Yeah, that's me.
Yes.
Um,
Excuse
but
me.
yeah, so but one of the things that I thought was something else that came up over the last few
Mhm.
days, I watched a video by from Syntax. I think it was from
Okay.
Syntax. You know
Yes.
that Wes
Well
Boss
aware
and
of, yes, the
Scott
syntax
Talinsky.
projects. Yes.
And Scott did a video talking about AI for developers and how that's making more developers not like their job of being a
Mm,
developer, because it's doing the work for you, and is this and they're finding that they're forgetting more of their skill of
mm,
being a developer, and what are some techniques for dealing with that. And actually one of the people they interviewed for that was Aaron Francis, and he was like, I don't experience any of
oh,
these problems because he doesn't use it in that way. He's not having the model create everything. He's using it slightly, a
right.
little bit more of him being the planner and the and using tools occasionally to help him build out. But something to definitely listen to. And then one thing that was interesting was that people who are using the agents and creating lots of sub agents, or creating lots of different agents doing lots of different
Mhm.
things, and then managing all those people tend to not be forgetting and enjoying things more.
I'm certainly enjoying myself, but
Yeah.
that's a different role, though. It feels like you're
Yeah. Yeah.
coordinating
Coordinating,
the
managing,
okay,
yeah, rather than
not really
the
managing, but like
developer.
yeah, herding.
Yeah.
To reuse the herder thing. I
Yeah.
thought, and sorry to take this in a negative approach here, but there was another video that was called "The True Cost of AI Coding." Is this that
Mm.
video? Is
It
that
could
what
have
you're
been.
talking about? From
Yeah.
okay, I didn't watch it because it had a pretty alarmist
Uh-huh.
a thumbnail of somebody in the hospital, and I just noticed that they changed the thumbnail today when I went to look at it. But
Well,
I
maybe
think
it
it
was
was
that and
basically
not what
about
I thought.
okay, because it was like kind of an episode on like burnout. I thought is was my understanding,
Okay,
and how
that's
some
definitely not
people,
what I.
yeah, yeah, and there was one guy who I think was trying to do it from the hospital or something like that. But anyway, I have been hearing a lot about AI burnout as well, and
Right.
then like yeah the skills atrophying I think is the right word,
Mm-hmm.
as well as like yeah the people are having fun. I'm certainly having fun, but also I try not to use Gen AI daily. I know that's
Yeah.
terrible, but when I when I use Gen AI, I use it for like 14 hours, which I understand is a lot.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like that's like a week's worth. So I try to stay away for like a couple days after I do a long session like that. Listen, I have a family. I'm sure you do. I realize you could like
Mm-hmm.
code for a while at the workspace, but you have to come home at some point. And I will admit
Mm-hmm.
this, like sometimes I'll code at the studio until like 1 a.m. or something like that. So I'm trying to like to keep those dates down because
Right.
like it is addictive, especially if I'm doing something where I feel like I've got 40 people working for me. I was like, you
Yep.
know, I don't want to want to waste their time, even though it's like completely virtual. And I am using a lot of the cloud sessions with Claude when I'm doing this, so I can resume them from one area or not. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying not to code, quote unquote code or vibe code or whatever from the couch because I'll do it for hours and like I'll
Yeah.
do it. So I make it something where like I have to jog or walk to get there and then do it. But also I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to reduce the amount of sessions because my sessions are really long and
Mm-hmm.
very very involved and end up being this like whole, it's kind of like this world building sci-fi thing because I'm trying
Right.
to make operating systems for fun, but like that is a coping strategy that I've
Mm-hmm.
got, and I wonder what other people are doing, I guess is where I'm
The
going with this.
the thumbnail, the title on the thumbnail was AI sent him to the ER or something like that. So that it might have been the
Yeah,
same video that we,
and I
but it
think
was
it now
definitely
says the true
syntax.
cost of AI coding. Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. And I watched like maybe a minute. I didn't watch the whole
Yeah.
thing, sorry. But
It's one of the videos that I didn't watch, I listened to. And so
oh,
I think I was listening to a lot of videos. I will just listen to, like
sure.
I was actually driving back from. I guess I was driving back from Portland.
Oregon, yeah.
Yeah.
And are you watching, like, is it YouTube in the car basically? So you can't see it, but you can hear it? Is that what you
Well,
mean?
it's on when you have YouTube Premium, you can download videos, and
Right,
then run and play in the background, so the phone doesn't
right.
need to be on. Well, I mean, it's on, but it's not displaying
The
anything.
display isn't showing. Yeah. I
So
see people
it's
sometimes walking and you can see they've got like YouTube, they're holding it behind their
mhm,
back, but also like they're listening
yeah,
to, and I can see the video. Yeah.
yeah,
I asked that because I wondered if your Rivian, like even if it were playing YouTube, I
right,
would assume that the screen wouldn't show you the video when you're
yeah.
driving.
So the Rivian does have the ability to play YouTube, but as soon as you put it out of park, it kills that feature,
Oh, even the audio. Okay.
even the audio.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
So on your end, you from your iPhone, you basically Bluetooth
yeah,
and then just listen.
right,
Right.
exactly.
Okay. Fair enough. How was the review for the trip? I have a whole bunch of questions. So
It's
the last time you told
spectacular.
us about your trip with it, you didn't have internet access, so you didn't have like the HAL system
Yeah,
working.
I don't find I use the AI assistant
Okay.
very often, and so a lot of the time we were for music and stuff. I mean, there's the big thing is that with Stella, to keep her entertained, she can watch something on the iPad, but we'd rather her not watch all that time because she'll get sick as well. So we had to pull over at one point so she could throw up.
Oh,
Um,
poor thing. Jeez.
but one thing that we like to play instead is there's this subscription service that we have called Sparkle Stories. And
Okay.
they are great stories. I mean, for kids of, I guess, 5 to 12 years old, different stories, different types of stories. And there's been this one that we've been following called about this pirate ship. And it's been just a lot of fun. And it's, probably, I don't know, 20, 30 episodes that are half hour each. And so we go through a lot of those.
That's cool.
And so that's on Bluetooth from Tony's phone.
Mhm.
And um, unless we're listening to music, we're often doing Bluetooth. So that's so probably my biggest complaint about the Rivian is that there's no CarPlay.
Oh, sorry. I just assumed there was.
Yeah,
Is that not a feature most? Does it have Android Auto?
nope, no Android
Oh,
Auto, no CarPlay,
wow.
and they don't.
It sounds like they were
They
trying to save
think.
on
I mean,
licensing or something.
it's super annoying.
Ah,
Because
that's not
like
good.
one of the things I love on the Volvo is it has CarPlay, so I can initiate N8N workflows just by my voice
I mean,
from
this Yeah,
as
I
one
mean, what do you
does.
buy a Rivian for if not to run NA workflows? I mean,
And
what
so
is even
there's
the
no
point?
option for doing that on the Rivian, which is very frustrating.
This is not related, but I'll try to segue to the question here. So Gabrielle had a follow-up question in terms of Cloud Code and effort levels. So I will say, if in doubt, you can try low, uh, straight up, because it's not going to cost you much to try it, and often low is totally fine. I will say most of what I do is in Sonnet medium, but when I have dynamic workflows work, I will tell it that it can use like Opus workers, which it won't do by default. And you don't want it to do that by default. You definitely don't want Fable workers, but you can tell it to use those workers for you and it will divvy up the task to you. Now you could use Fable as the runner, found it like really expensive and it would often spin off subagents that were
Hmm.
Fable agents. So it's like really, really costly. Similarly to Opus, it's difficult. They will spin off agents or subagents that have different effort levels on them depending on the task automatically as part of dynamic workflows, which is cool. So if you say dynamic workflows or I use DYN workf, din workf, is a shortcut I use. I have a feeling it might work for you too, just because I've been using it so much. But that's kind of what I do. And I will, if you need to nudge it, you can say, hey, show me them. If you're in the desktop app on the top right, you can look at the agents and then look at the effort level that each of them is using. I believe if you hit left in the console, you can do the same thing. But I find that view is janky. Sorry, Boris.
Hmm.
Janky. The desktop app has a much better view of the agents, and maybe I haven't updated Cloud Code in a bit, but it felt like it wasn't as good. You can mouse over, check all the details, that kind of stuff in the desktop app. So way better. So the long and the short of it is, you probably don't need to, aside from your main session, and just make sure that you pick the right model and then the right effort
Right.
level there. But as you assign workflows to agents or dynamic workflows, you can tell them to vary. That is my answer.
Cool.
Yeah, telling people how to waste their money. Like I would also say, try using subagents with GLF 5.2 on Ollama. You can use it on the cloud if you have to do something locally. I believe the newest Quen model will run on like a 4090, is my understanding, and is the equivalent to not Fable. Well, I think they say Fable, but I think it's equivalent of Soul. Is my understanding. Worth a try. I have a checkout this week that you may not be interested
Well,
in, but I'm going to show you
before
anyway.
we
Do you have
get
anything?
there,
Oh, what do we got?
there was also a video.
Oh,
I think it was Colin and Samir talking
yeah.
about Hank Green video,
Oh,
and apparently he got a lot of uh, pushback.
oh
People are
no, what
very
happened?
upset at Hank Green because he used a phrase in a video. I appreciate the pushback, which is
Right.
a fairly normal thing to say. A lot of people say it,
Oh,
but
like he's
the
AI pilled or something. Yeah.
implication is that he used AI to write the script and therefore that's
Mm.
bad. And it's like, I use that phrase. I mean, it's like I use the word delve because
I
to
also use
describe that word, that
and I
process.
use M dashes. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I hear you.
And
Yeah.
yet, therefore, I am an AI. So apparently he got a lot of pushback or a lot of, I keep using the word pushback because it's a term I use. But the concern is that that's something only an AI would use. And so he's gotten a lot of,
Oh,
oh, I want
and
to use that
and I
word.
think yeah, perhaps in what I'm saying is that he admitted that he had an unhealthy reliance and dopamine loop with LLMs, and I'm like, oh,
Right.
I see myself
Right.
in this comment for sure.
Yeah.
But like that's not an excuse for making people listen to Slop. I hear it.
Yeah.
I understand both sides of the story. That
Yeah.
sucks.
So anyway, that was it. Interesting. And then one other thing that I saw, one other bit of news, MCP. There's a new version of MCP.
Well, did it launch?
Oh, did it not launch?
Right, because it was
Stateless?
a
Oh, is it just
yeah. Did that
a?
land? Did that land?
I thought so.
Let's find it. Let's find it. Model context protocol.io. The specification came out the 28th. I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, okay.
You might be talking about the draft,
Okay.
which is supposed to be coming out. But yes, you are correct. So there was, yeah, so stateless is one of them, but you can do
Yep.
things like error reporting, progress tracking, which is amazing, cancellation, who knew, and configuration. I think the configuration one is
Yeah.
something a lot of people wanted. But let me pull up the old spec because it might be in the old spec too. Feel like it's not launched yet. I don't want to be that guy, but I
Okay.
feel like it's about to launch. Just because we have an MCP server. I believe this is what we were trying to get pushed in the most recent version, which don't quote me on this, but I think landed. I will look into it. But yeah, I don't think this is ratified yet. I think if you go to the Model Contacts Protocol.io site /spec/draft, you'll find it. I believe this is what you're referring to. But yeah, it's super exciting. I think this is what we want. We don't want a stateful Model Contacts Protocol server. And I think we've carved out an area where MCP servers make a lot of sense. In fact, stateless agents with stateless MCP makes a lot of sense to me, especially if it's something that, like, imagine an 8am workflow that kicks off a Lambda. The Lambda uses something somewhere else, and then lo and behold, it turns off for some reason, but you got to resume it. Like, all this stuff makes sense to me. Yeah, sorry. I think it's draft.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else you got for me?
I think that's it.
You get a list of news here. That's it for news.
That's all I got. So what you had to check out?
Next time, I feel like we both need to try the current Quen model because it's apparently a big deal. Okay, so I realize some people listen to this just like Matt might listen to YouTube in his Rivian. What I'm going to show you at this point in time is it's a white device. It's a little bit overexposed, so very close to my face. Matt, what do you think this is?
I think this is Lady Jane Urinary Director.
It is not what you just said. I thought it was an eyeball washer when I saw it. So, for those listening,
or the
like
thing to like a neti pot or whatever.
Yeah, but it's got like holes in it. I happened to see this in a Japanese store, and what it is I think it's something that's, what would the kids say, like male coded that doesn't need to be. So it's men's Biore hand wash that takes one pump to foam the soap and put it on your hand in order to, I would assume, encourage children to wash their hands properly in the rest of the world. But in Japan, and this is not like a value judgment, this is definitely like, if it says men's on it, I know it's difficult to read, but it definitely says men's Biore, hand wash and facial wash. So again, this thing at the top just allows me to push down on the pump and it will create a ring of soap on my hand to make hand washing much easier, because you don't want to make a lather or spend time, with a soap bar. Yeah, anyway, I definitely bought this. It was way overpriced, but I wanted to see how it worked. And it's kind of cool. I thought maybe like if you gave this to people in a studio, it would be clean. So like, they're not touching the top of the soap pump.
Right.
And then I realized no one's going to understand how to use this at all.
No.
So lost.
We'll be putting it up to our mouth again. What do I do with this?
And like eating the soap, they're failing the test. So again, for those listening, this is a men's Biore One Touch.
What was that? Men's what?
Biore. Biore is Biore accent U. But
is that a brand?
Biore, it is a brand. Biore is like a skincare brand.
Okay.
So I'm looking this up to see if this is like common in the US. I feel like it is. Canada, US. Yeah, it looks like it's fairly popular. I think they sell it there too. Yeah, you learned Biore. Not sponsored yet. Not sponsored yet.
Well,
what do you got for us, Matt?
I have three things. Well, two things really. Right. So after the last, so we didn't do anything last week. Just before last week, I finally received my Mandler 35mm lens, and it is fantastic. I hate the focal length, but I love the lens.
And this is a verb, so were you mandling? Sorry. Does it mandle well? Yeah?
No. I mean, it is a great lens. Mandler is in reference to apparently that was the main guy making lenses at Leica for a long time was Madler,
Gotcha.
and that's where the name comes from.
Very cool.
But it's great. It's a really nice, fun lens to use.
And
So
is
I've
it
been really enjoying
35
it.
millimeter focal length?
Yeah,
You're really coming around.
35 f2,
Nice.
and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
but it took forever to get here, and
Of course.
but I'm glad it finally did. And then we finally got it solar installed. We're just waiting on PSE, the power company, to
Fantastic.
set up the thing that uploads the energy generated back into the grid, so that we get credits
Nice.
for it. So then those credits pay for our bill. And so over the next 6 or 7 years, it pays for itself.
I think we've talked about this before, and it might have been 2 or 3 years ago now. But when we talked about this last time, we were talking about your home becoming like a battery, and
Hmm.
you having energy that you send back to the grid,
Right.
and this has become this is like we quickly turned our energy system on its head. It's happening now. It seems like
Yeah.
most of your states are now ready to receive, as far as I
Yeah.
can tell, are on the same
Yeah.
line,
And
which is
and actually,
amazing.
I was listening to a story on the radio pretty recently about a neighborhood of Ann Arbor, Michigan,
Mhm.
where they will, if anybody in that neighborhood requests it, they will get solar panels installed on their roof at no cost.
Nice.
Um, and then those panels will uh, generate and push to the grid, and they will get credits that they used. Basically, the same thing we have.
Awesome.
But they don't own the panels. The power company owns the panels, and so basically they're distributing these panels across all of that neighborhood of Ann Arbor, to generate electricity for everyone to use. Um, and then they rent the panels for like $25 a month. That's the total cost, and then
Hmm.
they save, on average, $100. So you pay a little bit and save a lot. And it's
Yeah, yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
So the initial bootstrap is paid for through government grants, but
Nice.
then apparently within a few months to a year, it should be self-sustaining, and that will expand out to rest of Ann Arbor and to Michigan. And it was
Yeah,
just such
yeah.
a neat story of
Absolutely. So, like on the one hand, it kind of found it sounds to me a bit like the iPhoneification of solar panels. So you get a phone for free, and then you pay your cell phone, whatever.
yeah,
But in the cell phone case, it's taking power. In this case, you're generating power, so you're giving back. And it feels like the only thing this community didn't have was like the initial costs upfront
right,
to get them into what is obviously a better system. It sounds like a great use of government
yeah,
money. Sorry
yeah,
to give America a compliment, but like, yeah,
yeah.
this is amazing. That's good. I like that. We should do
And
that
then
here
my
too.
my my third thing is
All right.
I finally bought something that I've seen so many reviews about, so many positive reviews. I thought,
Mm.
nah, it's ridiculous, and so much. Um, and it's not that expensive. I got one of these e-readers that is tiny.
Oh, oh,
And so, it's so small that it's got the little
oh! On the back of your
MagSafe, and it
phone.
fits on the
Yeah,
back
yeah,
of the
yeah.
phone. And and it's great. It is. I didn't realize having such a tiny device I mean, it is my Kindle. The most recent Kindle I've had, one of the Paperwhite, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, uh, it's a what I expect a reader to be. It's about that big, and
Right.
but it's just big enough to not be
Pocketable, right?
useful in a pocket. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
You have to want to have it. Whereas this is it's so tiny. I mean, it's on the back of my phone.
MagSafe.
It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it just sticks there, and it doesn't take any extra room, and I find, in the 2 days that I've had it, I find I mean, maybe it's just the first 2 days, and you do use
We'll see.
everything the
Yeah,
first two
honeymoon
days,
period. Yeah, yeah.
but it really feels like it's a perfect size. Um,
Right on.
and yeah, so and it's like $60.
That's pretty
Um,
good.
it is so worth it. It is
Great.
amazing.
I will say it's one of the few ads that I see on Instagram that I recognize. And
Mm.
there's a logo on the back. Is that the logo of the company or is that the book you're currently reading? I think it said
That
Onyx
yeah,
something.
that was a the book that I currently had on here.
Rebecca
And
Yarros,
so
Onyx of the Storm? Or
Rebecca
Onyx Storm?
Yaros Onyx Storm, yeah. It's
Oh,
a young adult sci-fi. But so I mean
right on.
I mean it's pretty small text right now, but you
The
can
font is
increase the
good though.
size. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice. Um,
One thing I like about that font, do you notice that some of the letters are darker than the others?
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to read that way, similar
Yeah.
to a newspaper. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great. I mean, it's not a touch screen, so it will not, which is actually kind of nice. It's got
Yep.
a button forward and back on the sides as well as on the surface here, and it's great. I mean, it's
Low
really
tech.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Low tech, nice.
I'm totally digging it. Um, Now, I'm not suggesting that anybody would or should or does, but there might be a way to get library books on here as well. So
Oh, interesting. I mean, my
not
library has like a card that you can go in and they'll give
yeah
you all types of ebooks, EPUBs.
yeah.
Fantastic. All
It
right.
doesn't support DRM EPUBs,
That
so
makes sense. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Not, there's an app out there that is of high caliber that is
high
worth looking
caliber,
at.
yes. No, I would say it's a low caliber app.
It's very much a low caliber app with
It
high
is,
quality
and
results.
it always has been ever since he first put it out.
There was
And
one question. Now that you're poo-pooing someone's free software, what e-reader is in the model? What's the
this
model
is
number?
the XT Ink X3. So there's
XT,
also
like
the
Xavier Thomas.
X4,
Okay.
and the X4. Well, actually, no, the X4 you can't get anymore. The X4 Pro, which is a little bit bigger, just a weensy bit bigger, but it's just big enough that it's not really going to fit on the back of even this larger phone. So I think that this is perfect size. The X4 Pro is a touchscreen and has a backlight, but both of those are not really
Yeah, you don't
important
need it.
features. And both the X4 Pro and the X3 have the little pogo charging, which is a pretty standard. I have a bunch of devices that have that kind of charging.
Mm, little difference.
And whereas the X4, not Pro, had USB-C charging. But it's something that you charge. I mean, it's annoying that it's still not great battery life for an e-reader. Like this thing apparently will last 2 weeks, 3 weeks on a charge.
Pretty
I think
good.
my Kindle was also about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a little bit
Also
longer.
larger.
But the Sony e-readers that I used to have, long before the first Kindle, you'd get your e-reader from Sony, and those batteries, I mean, you charge it up and you're good for 6 months.
Oh wow, nice.
They were amazing, and nothing else has come close to that. But they have a lot more features in the functionality in the e-reader now. But anyway, this is amazing. I
That's awesome.
I didn't expect. I thought I'm gonna get it. It's gonna kind of suck. I'm gonna ship it back, and that way I experimented. But no, I think this is it's awesome.
Keeper. Right on. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Reading. That's good
Yeah,
for you.
reading.
Young adult sci-fi.
Yeah.
Good job.
So right now I've got on here. Let's see. What do I have? The other one I've been reading a bunch has been Mona's Eyes. This girl, Mona, is losing her sight, and her grandfather takes her to the Louvre one day every week to help her see the wonders of the great painters, as a kind of a bonding activity. But I have all sorts of other books on here that are just great, and easy to get. And oh, did you want to see what I
Oh,
actually have on here?
yeah. I mean, it kind of is fine. It's fine. Great Gatsby. It's a good book.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
yeah, it's fun.
All right, folks,
That's all I
go
got.
read.
Go read.
Yeah, sorry. It feels weird to say that. I can't leave this alone, but it feels weird to say that in an era where it seems like AI labs are purchasing rare books, scanning them,
Yeah.
and then destroying them.
Oh yeah.
But
What
yes,
did you see that?
please go read. Might be
Uh,
traced back to an Amazon warehouse or an
in
Amazon place in Las Vegas.
other countries, one thing that's been happening is that little bookstores get orders every now and
Right,
then that are like
right,
$10,000, $15,000 worth of books,
right,
and they're all strange titles,
right.
and yet they're and maybe this is, if they had gone to Amazon, maybe it gets flagged, but by targeting these tiny stores where that get an order that is going to be like
Right.
the biggest order of the month or quarter,
Yeah, or the
that just
year.
can't
Keep them
refuse.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the most recent report that I saw, someone put an air tag in the shipment and it landed at an Amazon office in Las Vegas. And what they were
Hmm.
doing was, in fact, scanning the books. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hmm.
Part of chat. Part of chat.
Yeah.
This is where we are. It feels like Fahrenheit 451 in a weird way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting that it's ended up at Amazon. Why don't they just use Amazon?
Just leave that there. Shall we find the button?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great podcast. Thanks, folks.
All right.
Some
Thank you.
comments.
Bye.